And welcome back to Sticks and Strings. I'm Naomi.
I'm Beth.
I'm Eve.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday
like
to you. Happy birthday, dear Evie. Happy birthday to you. It's her birthday.
It's my birthday, and I have a present that Beth said I should open right now.
Since part of your birthday present is there.
Yeah, we bought her yarn for her birthday.
Yeah, which we'll talk about in a minute.
And there's a card in it.
Is the card properly insulting?
No. I was gonna get her the one with where there's flames in the front and says your birthday present is under there, your birthday cake is under there somewhere.
It's a cat with a pizza hat, and it says, "I wish for a different birthday hat."
Cute.
It's very fun.
The cat is not happy.
I got
Now she broke it.
the child
Oh, let me see.
Yeah, little baby Yoda thing.
It's a baby Yoda.
and my favorite snack.
Pocket pop keychain. Cute.
Okay, can't eat that. We're going to eat in a little bit. And
So happy birthday.
thank you. Thank
When you
Beth.
see this video, she'll be a little one day older, but it's still good.
Jan sent me the thing that she always does. Happy birthday, you're very old, but I'm still younger than you.
So when I was in graduate school, there was a card shop, and I think I bought the card there that I sent to Jan, but it had like a little poem or ballad or whatever on the front. It says something about we're both getting older. It's very sad but true. We're both getting older, but I'm not as old as you.
Yeah, I sent. So my brother is 10 years older than me. He's the oldest of all four of us. And I found one of those big giant cards once, and it was Snoopy. It was like, "You're how old?" on the front, and then you open it, and he's passed out on the ground. And I sent that to him. Because no matter how old I am, he's always 10 years older. It was fun.
He said when he was it 50? That he said that now he's old enough to wear socks with his sandals.
We are all well past that. I'm going to go first.
It's like those commercials about turning into your parents.
Wait. First,
What?
let's talk about our Beth and I fabric.
Oh, okay.
You have your dyed fabric?
You
dyed just
I
the
didn't. I
trim.
just. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that in my.
Because I want to talk about the fabric I dyed first, then she can go, because I'm going to use a piece of it right now.
Okay, talk about it.
I'm sorry.
Talk about it. No, I don't care.
So, I dyed
It's
this
so pretty.
to use for and to all a good night. And I'm going to carefully move this.
You put it over here.
Yeah. I dyed this one
Pretty.
for one of my
Project.
own patterns. These three I dyed in the... Where's the other one? There it is. I dyed in the same color, the same way, at the same time, and they are completely different.
Are they made of different materials?
Nope. They are completely different.
Oh,
This
that's
one's
kinda
almost
cool,
all...
though.
And I'm going to do the Twin Peak Primitives Halloween, with the cats and all that, the one color thing.
That one has got a little fleck
I know.
on there.
And then this one is possibly going to be, this is for, I have from Coloring for Fun, it's 4 seasons, and one is, the spring is like bugs, and the summer is butterflies, and the fall is leaves, and the winter is birds. And I might do the set for my showstopper,
Oh,
not just one.
in September.
The whole set. Well, I'll start, I don't know, I might finish next year.
I know, I'm saying, but in September.
So this is for the fall. Only when I was pulling it out of the thing, I touched it to the green fabric, and on the end I got this blue thing.
That shouldn't matter.
But it's within the
it's right on the edge.
yeah. So I was like, okay,
because you ain't gonna
be
stitch
more
all the way to the
careful.
edge.
Yeah.
Beth died at the same time, but she dyed some trim.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about it in a minute.
Yeah.
But I want to say, now that you've said that, thank you to all our new subscribers.
Yes.
We had so many
Yes,
subscribers
yes,
this week.
yes.
It was so exciting. What did we get? Like 13. So we were so excited
In a
that you
week,
joined
yeah.
us.
And
So now we're up to 86. And so we're
87.
talking, 87. And we're talking about what we might do at 100. So, and the other thing I'm going to say before we go any further is, I talked about it last week, and I want to mention it again. This week, expect a special video from us. We have a special project coming up. It's all falling into place, and I'm very excited about it. It's really going to touch your heart, and I think it'll probably be like Wednesday, I think. So keep your notifications on. Make sure you have the little bell icon, so you'll make sure you'll get our special episode that'll be coming out this week.
Yes.
So I'm going to go next because she's going to start figuring out
You
her
talked
thing.
about this already, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
she's going to start that. So you might see a little friend sitting right there. Right here.
Very cute.
That's what I did this week. So at the end of this, actually it's this month. It's this month. I'm going to Boston to move my daughter into her new from her studio apartment into another apartment with some friends. And you remember, I'm sure, from last year, if you're new, you can go back and see some of our episodes where I talked about the mouse problem that she had in her studio. And so since then, we've been getting her all kinds of mouse things. And so I decided... You did a cross-stitch that you said mouse house, and some friends for Christmas, they were asking me what to get her, and so they got her a stuffed mouse. And anyway, so I knitted this little mouse and a sweater to go on him. And
to keep him warm
and so this is to ward off any further mouse interactions in her new place, to christen her new place with a mouse. So this pattern is called, let me find it here. Sorry. It is called, where are you at, Mousy? It's called, page 1. It's called Sitting Mouse, and it's by Claire Garland of Dot Pebbles Knits. Sitting mouse, and included in the pattern is the pattern for the sweater, and it's very difficult.
I was wondering where you got the sweater
It is
pattern.
so hard. The hardest part, because I can't show you, but you knit the back of him, and then you knit the body, and then you have to sew it up all the way up to his chin, sew his belly in, and it was very hard. He's a little twisted because of that. And then these are just something called I-cord, but so it's fiddly, as we say in knitting, when things are too small and too hard. But so he was very difficult to knit, but it all came out really cute. And he's just stuffed with yarn, like yarn ends from the knitting, and then you make the sweater flat and sew it up the back. So, and I was gonna sew it and then put it on him, but really it was much easier because actually I thought this is too big for him, but sewing it up was kind of tight, so I sewed it right onto him. I mean, it's not attached. You could take it off. I thought about making her other colors so she could switch the sweater.
Well,
a Christmas one and a fall one, and of course, you could put any kind of pattern you want on the sweater. For Christmas. An ugly sweater, yeah. But anyway, so he's a little
I still dress
cute.
dress Robert's teddy bears from when he was little.
And the ears, it didn't call for
Mom,
it, but
Mom
Mom should
changed
do that.
the teddy bears.
I did it.
I didn't.
She lost the clothes. She went to take them in. Yeah.
I didn't call for it, but I put an edge around the ears to make them stand up a little bit.
They look so cute.
They look hands. So that was a lot of fun. That's what I did this week. It just took me a couple days, but I should say I got most of. He's not going to stand up now. I got most of the body done but with sewing the belly up and then putting on the legs and the tail and the arms and the ears and everything, I kind of got obsessed. And I literally looked up and the sun was coming out. So he was made in a couple days and one entire night while I watched The Rookie on Hulu, and then I made this sweater yesterday. But it's fun. I wanted to get him done. I have not sent any pictures to Hannah yet, so if she watches this video, she'll see him. But I'm trying to keep it a secret. Eli wants me to keep it a secret. I'll just present her and her roommates with this when we get there in Boston. So that's Mr. Mouse. His name is Little Jerry, of course, in honor of the first mouse that met his demise at Hannah's room, in Hannah's apartment. Little Jerry. And then I'm so excited because the new Casapinka pattern came out today. Oh, where is it? Here it is. The Snark-o-meter.
Yes.
And it just dropped this morning. So
I have it too.
yeah, she's got two. Anyway, so for Eve's birthday, I convinced her last week to join the knit along with me, and for her birthday, I bought her half the yarn, and Beth bought her the other half because you have to have four skeins of it. And so
I bought the needles because
She'll show
I
you
don't have
those.
round needles.
yeah,
But yeah,
she'll show you those. So
they got me started and everything, and muscle memory.
yeah, so she taught me to knit, but then she's like, I don't remember how to knit. So she came over and I wound her yarn into cakes and for her, and then we cast on, and I just did a little preliminary swatch of two of my colors. I was going to do like a whole swatch of them, but look how beautiful.
But you were
they
making
are.
a mouse.
But I was making a mouse, and look at them. They go well together. I'm not worried about it. My last time I made this little swatch for the one I made last year, and this actually it was good I made this swatch because one of the colors she recommended against a variegated last year, and one of them though I was totally in love with, and I wanted to it's fine, but I did this swatch and put it with a couple of my solid colors, and you can really see that they did not contrast well enough. So I saved it. Actually used it for right away after that one was done. She did something called the Secret Handshake, which was a cowl, and that variegated went very well in that. So I got to use it. But I was glad I made this swatch last year. So this is my colors from last year, and this is my colors from this year. So I am going to be casting on. I'll be counting like cuckoo. Did I bring? I didn't.
What?
I didn't bring any. I didn't bring any stitch markers with me. It's okay. Not a big deal. But anyway, so that's me. That's all I'm doing. I'm going to be knitting this, and then when I'm done with my clues every week, I'll be working on Rachel's shawl. So we'll be doing that. I'm going to try to be faithful now that I got my. The other thing is, I sent the sweaters off to the kiddos.
Oh yeah.
And they got them on Thursday and sent me pictures, and I'm so sad because Oliver's sleeves are too short. But they don't care because I was like, if you want me to fix them, I can, because I just take the cuff off, pick up those last green stitches and stitch another couple inches and then make a new cuff. Easy fix. But she's like, he doesn't care. Mom said he doesn't care and I don't care and he loves it. And I'm thinking, he's going to outgrow it this year anyway, the whole thing. So, if he wants me later to fix the sleeves, I probably could, because I think that yarn, even if it's washed or something, it'll still say nice.
And that little
when
girl
my
wore
son
the
was
hat forever.
when my son was 2.5, I adopted him, and they sent him with a couple of T-shirts and a couple pairs of shorts and a nightshirt. I mean, that's about all he got. He was in foster care, so we went to the mall. It was one of the things that he liked to do. We would just go walk around the mall and then have a Cinnabon. And we walked out of the door, and it had gotten cold because I got him in September. And
that was in New Mexico.
That was in New Mexico,
where you actually have fall.
Yeah,
Not
I walked
here.
out so it was
I'll say
probably,
here, cold in September?
I thought it was
it's New
probably
Mexico.
toward the end of September when this happened. And so we turned around and walked back in, and I went and I found a little jacket for him, and it was a little
The one with the bear right here?
no,
Oh.
it was a little Levi jacket. And he wore that thing, he almost never took it off. And it started looking like a bolero. I mean, you know, and so I bought him another one.
Nope.
Nope.
It was the original or nothing.
Yeah.
Well, so I thought, well, because there's a picture. I haven't seen any like formal. She's gonna send me formal photos of the kids, and the rainbow sweater is perfect on Elsie. The sleeves are maybe they're just to her hands right here, but they're really perfect. And the hat, which I thought was going to be too small, is perfect, and so that is perfect. So the sweater, Oliver's sweater, fits him well in the torso, but the sleeves. There was a picture of him holding the card I sent him, and his arms like this, and the sleeve is like here, and I was like, no, I was so upset. But Mom's like, he loves it. It doesn't. But I'm like, oh. But anyway, he's a growing boy, and if it still fits him in the torso, and it really gets short, I can certainly adjust the.
The doggy's
barking. What are you barking at? Bork, bork. Hi, bork, bork. She's so anyway. So that was the story there. But that was my accomplishment this week. I got those sweaters out and done. So that was fun. Okay, so I'm gonna start casting on.
Okay. I've accomplished nothing this week. I've done a lot of stuff, but
do you have a tape measure close?
Yeah, right behind me in that plastic bag. Sorry.
This is where I sew. There's a tape measure right there.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'll get it.
Well, I was gonna say,
I'll get it.
Oh,
and hand
Eve's
it
gonna
to you.
get it. Okay.
Can you get it? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, because I'm gonna actually try to measure.
Oh, was that me or you?
That was my scissors.
Oh, okay.
I forgot my
You're a
embroidery
mess.
scissors, and I have some over here, but I don't want to hunt for them. So, ouch! I'm stepping on scissors.
I've got my scissors here. Something here. Eve.
So now I gotta do
if you
math.
need some. So.
Who rolls their tape measure up with the 60 on the outside?
Somebody who doesn't care which one's on the outside, because I put it
But
around.
look, if the one was on the outside, it'd be right here.
I put it around my neck, so I don't care.
I put it on my neck. So I can look like a serious sewist.
No, because when I'm using
So
it,
You could be like
You got a mouth like a
muzzled
sewer.
Chemsoil. Taylor muzzled Chemsoil.
I only use that when I'm sitting at the sewing machine,
So you make a necklace out of it.
mm-hmm.
Okay,
so
I
that
have to do
I
math
don't have
now.
to keep looking for it.
So,
You want to go next? Go.
I haven't gone yet. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm just.
We always make you go last. That's why she's asking. You want to go next?
Yeah. So I've been since I'm doing cross stitch camp, and I already finished my August project. So I thought, well, I'll use this month to do some finishing or whatever. So I worked on that, and I'm going to talk about my pillow saga briefly, but I was gonna dye some fabric to start on my showstopper project. Now, last week I had mentioned that I was gonna do either the Owl Forest Embroidery whale monster. Was it Monster Whale? I think is the name of it. I don't think I brought the box out here with me, but anyway, it's called Monster Whale something. But it's the one with the big whale with a village on his back, basically. And I was trying to decide between that or this and Heaven and Nature Sing.
It is so beautiful.
And
What did you pick?
and one of my I had picked this one basically.
okay.
I thought about this one here. But one of my subscribers had said that she was looking at it, and her husband happened to walk through the room at the time when the whale kit was on the screen, I guess, or something. and he told her, "Oh, you should do that with her," or something like that. So she was wondering if I wanted to do
The whale one?
Oh, yeah, a stitch along with her
Oh,
on the
fun.
whale one.
That's neat.
So I think I'm gonna try to do both. Maybe like every other day.
Yeah.
She was talking about, maybe we could you could do it every other day. So I'm gonna
that's really fun.
do this and the whale one. Since the whale one is a kit,
Yeah.
it's got the fabric and the threads, and it even has a little needle minder that they sent. Because it's one of the larger kits.
And she has to wait for hers to come in.
I don't know if she already has it. I don't know. Maybe she has to order it. I haven't talked to her yet about the logistics of that.
Well, that would be September starting.
Yeah. So, anyway, so I'm gonna do this one. So but I didn't have, like I said, the Alforce thing has fabric already, and so I was trying to decide what fabric I wanted to use for this, because this one, the model here uses what does that say? 40 count vintage pecan butter from Lakeside Linens, and I ain't gonna do that. It's 40 count. I probably could do it, but I'm not. And it also is done in silks. It's stitched in needlepoint silks, and I'm not gonna do that either, I don't think. But it has a DMC conversion, so I went ahead and sorry, put that down and puffed it. So these are the colors that, except for one, which it must be in a project somewhere because I didn't have it handy. But so these are the DMC colors. If you can see those. Anyway, so I pulled them all so I could do a floss toss. And the one that I don't have handy is just a lighter version of this color. It's a green color. But so I happened to have these two fabrics. I did a cross stitch calculator to find the fabric size, and I was gonna do this. And these are both like coffee / tea dyed, but this is like this is an even weave, 28 count even weave, and this is the leftover piece of fabric from my July cross stitch camp piece, and that mini spring kit. And since I'm trying to do some finishing and stuff this week, and so I finally just cut that piece out of this fabric. So I cut here. But the rest of it that's left is big enough to do that and Heaven and Nature Sing. This is 32 count linen, but it's also, coffee or tea dyed or whatever. So they're about the same color. So I was concerned actually that this one doesn't have very much in the way of modeling, but there's a little bit kind of in the center that you can kind of see, but otherwise it's a nice neutral color. And then the same thing with this. So when I looked at this, I realized this is the right size for that fabric, for that pattern also. So now I just have to decide between them. And like I said, I have all these, the flosses all look good. The one thing I was concerned with is the white that's on there, but I think there's enough contrast that it'll show up well on there, because I think the only place that it uses white is within the tree designs or whatever, like snowflakes within the trees, and so the white is surrounded by other colors. So I think that'll, I'm putting together my September projects then, and otherwise, I did some finishing stuff. I cut apart my Black Rock Angels. I was actually very scared to cut them apart, because it's like one of the things that stops me from finishing things is the sort of irreversible thing, making a decision, and then and even though most of the time when I do a project, I like everybody else, I leave enough fabric around the edges to cut it out and everything, but then I have to actually cut it and trim it and everything, and I'm like, nobody's screwing up. But so
if you screw it up, you could make another one. You have all the thread and fabric.
I know, but I don't want to. Anyway, so these are my Blackrock Angels that I finally cut apart because I'm going to make little ornaments out of them, and so I have a little pile of sticky board that I'm going to use just to back them, but I have to buy. I was calculating how much of it I need, and I don't want to buy a couple more pieces because each one I think I can fit 3 on there because they're very small actually. Once you account for wrapping the fabric around them, whatever. So I think I want to get a couple more pieces of fabric, and then of course I have the backing fabric. I cut this also, but so I'm sort of working on finishing in little steps. And the other thing was that my August project was this. I have a thread hanging here. Sorry. My rabbit project. It's actually much smaller than I thought it was. But my vision was actually, since the little flip calendar idea is difficult, and having them all as separate stand-up things is also kind of difficult. But what I like is that I have this canister, basically. This is the lid of this metal canister thing, and this is bigger than I really need, but I'm thinking that if I make this, give it a little bit of a border, so it's a little bit larger, and then just do a backing fabric of some kind, framing fabric, kind of like the one that Priscilla makes, and put it on here with magnets and washers like she does. And then I
store the other ones inside.
Store the other ones within the canister, and then put the current one on here.
I see.
So that's what I'm thinking. So I have to look at backing fabrics and all that kind of stuff, which is always difficult for me. But I have to look those up. And then and other than that, I'm still stitching on this elephant and pug. I've all this upper part above the elephant is done, the border and the words, and I actually last night did the pug down here. He's finished, and his tusk. So all the black and white is finished, and the elephant's eye and the edge of his ear. So now I'm working on just the gray of the elephant. And then there's a little border section down here below them. But I have to. I wanted actually to do the border so I'd be done with the red and the yellow, but it's too far to count down there. So I'm working on the elephant now and
By
finishing.
The way, the lady who made this mouse pattern also made an elephant.
Oh.
It's a little elephant. It's like a little. So I bought it.
So should I talk about my finishing saga now?
Yeah, sure. But first, before that, why don't we do our
giveaway?
Our wounded warrior, not wounded warrior, but wounded crafter giveaway.
Yes.
Yeah, because last week you'll remember that we talked about all our pains for our art, and we said if you comment with a pain from your art with an injury.
We had some interesting injuries.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
So let me show that drawing.
So
while we were making the video, Eve started this drawing. You'll remember from last week. Look at that.
Isn't
that gorgeous? We'll
Take
put
it
up a
little
picture
closer.
here. We'll put up a picture because this is going to be. But anyway, it's the turtle. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
I don't want to touch it.
That is a style that I started
It's
for.
so nice.
Actually, for Star Trek videos.
It's really beautiful.
The Star Trek portraits.
Okay.
So we're going to give that away.
So we had, hold on 1 second.
See, we had glue gun accidents. We had what
A
did we
clarinet
have?
accident.
A clarinet accident.
Needles.
We had
Needles.
up like torture device needles.
One person
under the nail.
stick the needle under, and the other one was some people were crafting and the girl went to unplug
Extension cord.
an extension cord because they had used some lights and whatever, and there was a spark and she ended up like black on her hands.
Almost got electrocuted or what? Oh
Yeah,
my
I guess so.
gosh.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah, it
the
reminded
things,
me of
the things we go through for our crafts.
It reminded me of a little girl I knew that had stuck a car key in a socket.
Gosh.
Mm.
Yeah.
But so we had 1, 2, 3, 4 for our giveaway, and I have here the random.
So who are the names?
Comment generator. I mean, not random comment generator. Listen to me.
The random.
Just say the name of
Decision
whoever
roulette.
wins.
Decision
Yeah,
roulette.
Just say the name of the person that wins.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So we had, like I said, four people who commented. So now I'm going to click on the roulette wheel. Oh,
After the ad.
after the
We'll
ad.
wait for the ad
yes.
for the app. No,
Okay,
we love
now
ads.
I'm Okay, so now it's spinning.
Ooh, there it is.
Looks like Mary O's.
Mary O's.
Mary
Mary
O's.
Congratulations.
So there will be a link below with the email address.
Mm-hmm.
Email your physical address, and that will be put in the mail
We'll
to
send
you.
it to you. Congrats.
Do you want to read your comment? Here. Oh,
I got it here.
you got it?
Yeah. This one is actually very dear to my heart because it's a music, which musicians seem to injure themselves with alarming regularity.
Like a bassoon reed slaps in your face.
Yeah, like Beth with her bassoon reed. Yeah,
Me.
me and Naomi. That
With Mary O's?
it was Mario's. Yeah,
Yeah.
she played the clarinet. And she says, I played the clarinet through my senior year at high school. I had not played in years, and a couple of years ago I decided to take lessons and get back into playing.
Congrats. That's great.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
very good. Yeah, I haven't picked up, I don't even know where they are, my flute and piccolo. As I was practicing one night, I put a reed in my mouth to moisten it. Those of you who don't know, instruments like
With
clarinets and saxophones and stuff like that use a reed, they have to be moist or they won't
vibrate.
vibrate properly. I think Gracie, that was her dog, thought it was a treat, and she leapt up to grab it out of my mouth. She nipped my lip.
Ouch.
So yeah, that's
So that was her comment.
Yeah.
And I feel you suffering for your art. So look, so send us your address to the email that it's in the link. The link is
In the
in the
box.
description below, and we'll get that to you. Congrats.
Yeah.
That's such a nice picture.
So I wanted to talk about my saga of finishing. I have in this bag several things of yarn because I wanted to use this kind of thick velvet yarn, basically. Okay, so for Mother's Day, I think it was, or for my mom's birthday, I don't know. For Mother's Day, I think, last year.
No, it's for her birthday.
Was it for her birthday?
I think so.
I made this Lindy Stitches pattern a mother's heart. And so it says, a mother's heart is black and blue, bruised from loving ever true. And so when I finished it, it comes with the template for this heart shape. So I cut out the heart shape, and I used Lady Dot Creates Velveteen for the back, and for the trim, I used Lady Dot Creates Chenille. So, so I finished it for my mom and gave it to her. She really liked it. So when she passed away in December. So in the spring, in March or thereabouts, I wanted to do a sort of memorial thing, and I was thinking about all those samplers that say, you know, when this you see, remember me, that sort of thing. Sorry, there's a big cat here that I'm trying to pull off. There we go. But anyway, so along those same lines, I was thinking about this, and this is just the verse from the Beatitudes. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. This verse kept, popping in my head. So I just designed a real simple little stitch for that. But so my mother's name is here, and her date's here, and the little willow tree. And then I put all these little sheep charms on there to represent all of us, my mom and dad here, and then my brother and Eve and Robert, her son, and me and Naomi and her kids, Eli and Hannah. So we're all down there on the grass, little sheep feeding in the grass. And so I wanted to pick a backing fabric, also using that Lady Dot Creates. And I had mentioned a couple weeks ago that there were 3 green choices on there, and I wasn't sure which one, because you're looking at, electronic pictures or whatever. And so I wasn't sure which shade of green would be right. So I bought all 3 of them, and I finally chose this one, which is Pea Pod. It's called Pea Pod. And then, but I didn't buy chenille trim because I thought, well, I have some that's a green already. It's called Mossy. And I thought it would, in my head, not really looking at it clearly, I thought it should be the right shade. And so I didn't buy any more. And it wasn't the right shade. It was a little too grayish. And so then began my saga looking for some kind of trim for it.
Yeah, we thought that shiny one that you bought last week would work.
Yeah, I went through some different yarn because I wanted this sort of a thick, like this velvet yarn.
Chenille
is like the chenille trim that I used on this mother's heart pillow. So that's what I was looking for, rather than like, because making cording is a possibility, but I kind of wanted to, this kind of trim. So originally, I also had this color, but it's also, and it's called olive, but it's very yellow. And so,
excuse me.
So I have also this color that I used on the owl that I did, and it's the right color, but it's the wrong kind of yarn. I didn't want this hairy
The eyelash
stuff. And so at Hobby Lobby, I was looking around, and I saw this, and it's a really pretty color. And in my head, I was thinking, oh yeah, this matches the dark green on this thing. But no, it doesn't. It's too
dark.
Too olivey. It's also called olive, by the way.
It's
a different kind of olive, huh?
You want a hat? This is beautiful.
Yeah, I like that. It's really pretty.
Or a little cowl or something?
Not necessarily. Not now that I live in Arizona, I don't. But it's really pretty.
It actually would look pretty with this too.
But so then
I'm just saying, I'll make you something with it. It's so pretty.
So
We have
then,
enough projects.
so then I thought, well, I'll go look at Joann's because maybe they have a
I'm
different
sitting here
selection
literally going,
and
I could cast on something. Yeah.
and so at Joann's I couldn't find the right shade of green, and so even I thought, well, maybe I'll use this blue because there's blue in this pattern, on the border, whatever. And so if I put this blue trim on there, it would possibly work and everything. But then, so I went ahead and bought it. I kind of, as I was standing in the checkout line, I was going, I don't know. But I went ahead and bought it because I thought this blue yarn.
Oh.
Because I thought it might work. And anyway, I'll have it to use on some other project. So anyway, it's my yarn purchases. I have a whole bag of yarn. And the only one I ever used was that eyelash yarn.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah. So then I thought, okay, that chenille trim from Lady Dot Creates. See, it's very grayish green. It's not. Yeah. So, but I thought, it's 100% cotton. She hand dyes it. And so I thought, if you dye it once, you can dye it again.
Mm-hmm.
So somewhere in here, I have this little swatch. Yeah. So I cut a little piece off, and I have like two colors of green Rit dye, the dark green and the apple green, and I cut a little piece of this chenille off, and I tested like a little piece in each color, and I liked the apple green. Came out well, I think, but so and really there's not a whole lot of difference. It's not a really dramatic difference.
Yes, it is.
But this is the original color, and then this is the
It's
dyed
hard to see
color.
there. We'll
Yeah.
take a photo.
But so I just stuck this in the dye, and it's just made it a shade greener, and I think it came out really good for the trim on the thing, and it's lighter than this green, but it's very close
It's
to
very
these
similar
greens.
to the thread.
Yeah, so
the tree.
Yeah, so I think it works really well, and I just like the look better than I did this look, So it's just enough of a difference. So yeah, and I was like a little paranoid that like it was gonna like be stiff or too crunchy basically, but it came out.
Nice.
It came out well. Yeah. So I was so this is my pillow saga of all the different backing fabrics and all the different trims and
Don't
all.
you have an additional pillow? Another pillow?
I have one more in here.
Ah, okay.
But so it's finished now. And is the
Yeah.
pattern on Etsy yet? The pattern for this one?
No,
That I
because
sent
you haven't finished. You haven't taken any pictures.
Okay, that's what I thought. But I did send her the pattern finally, so to the PDF version. So this is going to go up on the Etsy site if you want to the pattern and pictures of the finish, just so that if you want to do, if you want to do something similar for someone or if you can there's a little alphabet included if you want to and it's just a simple backstitched alphabet, so you can put name and dates on there, or you don't even have to do that. You can just do the pattern itself. But so that's going to be on the Etsy shop.
As soon as we get photos up.
Yeah,
so,
if you want to do that.
real soon.
So, but yeah, so this is blessed. This is how I spent my summer vacation.
Yeah, that's good.
And then the other thing I did was this this little pillow that I've had forever. I did it. The date on here, it says 2018, so that may have been when I stitched it. But
Oh yeah. I remember
But
that.
so Eve sewed it for me, sewed the backing fabric on there for me, and I stuffed it. And the only thing I didn't do was finish closing the bottom of it. It was like stuffed and sitting in my to be FFO bag forever. And because I sat down and I stuffed it, and actually I probably could have
Overstuffed it?
No, I could have stuffed it differently because like the corners are like flat.
That's okay. It happens.
But I didn't do my Vanna corners. Sorry, Vanna. But anyway, so this sat there for a long time. So since I was finishing this other pillow, I went ahead and finished stitching this one up, and then I had this trim.
Is that the same or it's different? It's different from
It's a different color. Yeah, I think this is Chianti is this color, and this one is Berry Crush. But so this little pillow, this is a Silver Creek Samplers design, and I love this. And I think, and what this goes with little Jerry.
Oh.
This tiny mouse lives in a house beneath the berry shade. He gathers up the ripest fruit and makes sweet marmalade.
That's cute.
And so I think this is all called for colors. Like I said, I've slept since I made this, but and it's on like blue, light blue even weave, and it might have been purchased this color, at Hobby Lobby they have even weave that they have a blue shade. So I don't know, it could be that. I posted about it, back when I stitched it, but I think I changed the words here, mouse and berry. I think sweet marmalade was already this color, or I changed it, but it's the same color as the berries. But I wanted to emphasize that mouse and berry, and then sweet marmalade. So
That's nice.
Yeah. So I just love this pattern. It's really, really cute.
It's a little mouse.
Yeah.
So cute.
So anyway, let me put these over there somewhere. Sorry.
Don't knock down your soda.
As we sit here watching me trying to balance the pillow.
Just lay it down.
That is not what I intended. This one I like.
Just step out of there for a moment. So anyway, that's my finishing saga for the. But so I dyed this other
That's fun.
thing.
All right, Edie, birthday girl. After we're done here, we're gonna go eat. I'm so excited.
Yeah, we're gonna go to Texas Roadhouse on. Yeah, we're
So,
all saving our stomachs.
My daughter had a violin teacher, so sweet, loved her, and here in town. And one time I was asking her about good Chinese restaurants to go to, and she said, well, she recommended this one buffet, and she goes, but if you go there, save your stomachs. In other words, save your appetite, but she said save your stomachs, and so that's now our phrase, save your stomachs. So
Save your stomachs for dessert.
Yeah, I'm saving my stomachs for steak right now. So, and it'll kind of be my breakfast. So
Me
I don't know
too.
how that's
I
gonna
haven't
go
eaten.
over.
I haven't eaten anything
today.
It's too early.
I had 2 bites of a muffin, so I'm going to count that as my breakfast. Show your yarn. Show your yarn.
Okay, so I joined the stitch along, and
Knit along.
Knit along.
that thing.
Mystery knit along.
Mystery knit.
And what's fun about it is you don't know what it will look like until you actually knit it up. Like,
It's just a scarf. Okay,
yeah,
but I mean that's what you know. It's a
wide.
scarf.
It's not it's called a shawl because it's going to be like 20 inches wide. So it's a shawl. It's not a scarf.
It's a project. So I chose this as my. It's like a variegated
Speckle.
speckle kind of thing. It's really pretty.
It's like a birthday cake.
Beth says it looks like birthday cake.
And this color is my favorite color, and I think it looks fabulous with that. So then
I'm trying to get it out of the light so you can see all the color.
I picked this to go with the blue right away because I think it looks great with that blue. And then I was looking for a 4th color, and I was going back and forth, and Naomi came to help me look, and we were going back and forth.
We're there
And
an hour? Were we there?
We were there a long time because then we kept changing that one, trying to decide. And finally, I settled on this one, which is one of the first ones I picked up when I picked up that wine
That's
color.
really cool. I'm watching for your soda.
So
Just don't want you to accidentally.
I think that those are going to play well together.
So you're gonna make this one, the
light colored
one will
one.
be the background.
the background color between. So
I think it's great.
the body of it will be the darker colors.
I think it's really good. That gold will pop.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like those
I think
colors
that's
just even by themselves.
So and they're very soft. This yarn is so soft. I know you're not supposed to say soft.
No, you're not supposed to say soft about wool. You can say soft about yarn. These are wool.
So
These are 100% wool.
that's weird.
She told my color. This is the same color, right? But yours looks darker.
They're hand dyed, right?
I know they're hand dyed, but I'm saying hers
Yeah.
looks darker than mine.
Okay, so so I was doing that, and I mean, I went and chose those things, and I dyed the fabric. I dyed that on Thursday, and I've been working a lot on my cross stitch camp piece, which is a little mouse.
It's a mouse thing.
It's a mouse.
It's a mouse thing.
And I love the new where is it? I love the new thread. I love the new fabrics that Hobby Lobby has out in this Morocco. What I have discovered in stitching this is that I am not going to be buying any of those fabrics. My eyes, I bought a little magnifying thing because I didn't want to spend a lot of money on a big expensive one if it didn't help at all. And what it does is just make my eyes hurt more.
Oh no, the magnifying glass.
Yeah. So, and then stitching this white on this white to try this. I'm at the point where I'm doing a back stitch all around, and there's photos of this on Instagram if you follow me on Instagram. Anyway, the 1/1 of the little birds, I was about to throw this thing because it wasn't the 1/1 that was the problem. 1/1 that wasn't the problem. The problem was when I made a mistake, I couldn't get it out because the stitches were so tiny. And you end up having to, take out the whole thread because you can't just take out one. It ends up, it was awful. And I'm sure if you're used to it, that doesn't happen. But the little birds came out so cute. I mean,
they look really good.
I love them. They're great, but holy cow, that took me, it's a little tiny little thing and not that many stitches. It took me 3 days. So, I have this much of this fabric left, and after I use that
Let me see the mouse. Are you done with it?
No.
Oh.
I have Krynic and beading and that rest of that back stitch to do.
Oh, I see.
The back stitch all the way around.
I see.
I think that's like to help you put it together or something.
Uh-huh.
But
wow. Yeah, that is really small.
yeah, and I
can, wow. Yeah, those birds. Oh, my
I think
goodness.
I did I did my little hedgehog on, I think on 28 count, so it's a little bit easier, bigger.
Well,
but
yeah,
it's
so-
also, yeah.
when I was doing the regular stitching, it's not so bad. I mean, I'd have to do it if I just work on it certain times of the day and everything, it's fine. But that little 1/1 was really killing me.
The first time I did 1/1, I think it might be the only time I've done 1/1, was that little tomato dame kit that I did for Hannah a long time ago. It had little crows, like 3 or 4 crows in the design, and it was a little kit, a limited edition kit or whatever that I think I got like the last one they had. So it came with like 32 count fabric, and so I got to those little crows, and I was like, I was afraid, first of all, because I'd never done 1/1, and then
I
they
stupidly
were really
started
hard
a
to
long
do.
dog sampler 1/1, and I literally had it under a under a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. I don't like it.
Oh, that looks really good.
So I'm catching up on this.
Here's the mystery stitch along.
This is the mystery stitch along. I'm nowhere
The
near done.
Tinymodernist.
A Tiny Modernist.
Yeah.
I'm nowhere near done with the first clue, but I did go ahead and print out
The second one.
the second one, and I'll take a picture. But it's so far. It says when witches go riding, black cats are seen.
The.
Right now, I'm going to leave the. This is fabric I dyed myself, if you remember. And I say it looks like blue jeans, dirty blue jeans, faded dirty blue jeans. Anyway, the angel up here in the middle is supposed to be white inside. A lot of people are doing other things, and when I look at the pattern, I'm not sure. I kind of like it with the fabric showing in it. So I'm going to leave that and decide, I can always put it in later. It's not a big deal. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this. I'm catching up, but I've seen people that already have both things finished already. And because it's not a lot of stitching, and it's so cute. I love it. So I'm gonna love this stitch. If I get it done by Halloween, fine. If I don't, fine. So, but because Halloween comes every year, just like 4th of July. So that's
you.
That's my. No, I'm not.
Oh.
I'm not done yet. That's my stitching that I've been working on. I didn't bring my snowman here. I did a little bit on him too. But just because I was tired of looking at tiny things and my tablet was dead. So my tablet, I dropped it while it was plugged in. It fell. And when that happened, something happened where
You're talking about your other tablet, not this
not
tablet.
the tablet we're using, the other one.
Yeah.
When you plug it in, it has to have like a slight curve in order for it to contact right now. And so I have it standing up and plugging in and plug it in, and I plug it over here. And I had it plugged in for 2 days. And I went to use it, which I used the electronic version of this. Mm-hmm. I go to sit down to do it the other day, and the tablet's dead.
Oh no.
You know why? Because we plugged in the fan on that plug and we unplugged it.
Oh. Oh no.
And so
And I was
like,
I was gonna say, you Beth, you guys need to scoot this way. You're off.
I was using the iron, and it's plugged in that same thing where the tablet is plugged in, and I just I saw the tablet and thought, oh, it's charging, and I didn't even think to look. I didn't look at the socket, or anything, because you had been using the iron, and so I just turned the iron on.
I tried to use the paper pattern, and I did to finish a thread or something, or I started to, and I was like, no. So, I've been doing a lot of sewing that I'm not going to show you. No, not on the bags. I kept saying, I'm just going to finish this, and then, ran out of time. So, I put the squares together.
Oh, that's
and
so
I
nice.
just love it. And so, I haven't put the...
So that's going to be a quilted bag?
It's going to be a quilted bag.
Nice.
There's going to be a white
strip at the top.
strip like this up at the top. And then inside, I put it back over here.
Will be another like a batik.
Yeah. Inside is going to be this color.
Oh, that's so pretty.
And it's from this same line.
Uh-huh.
So it's like right in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Nice.
so I'm real happy with this, the way it's coming out. And I was like, I have to do those other bags. Yeah, but I'm having fun. I have to do those other bags. Yeah, but this is so cool.
So you're going to use that same quilt pattern for your big
yeah, this
quilt.
is my practice. This is my pre-quilt, and I'm really glad because, I sew a lot, but it's been a long time since I've done any detailed sewing.
Yeah.
And so
Trying to match corners and all
yeah,
that.
matching the snowballs and all that, and it's like, I follow the ideas, and I love the way Jenny says, if you cut it wrong, you have a pot holder or something. Just don't worry about it.
Yeah.
If it comes out wrong, that's okay.
Finished is better than perfect.
That's true in cross stitch too.
Yeah.
And the proper stitcher is always saying, if you're in a stitch along and you get behind, so what?
Mm-hmm.
And she said, and don't, like, Beth is always worried about the finishing stuff, and cutting it and all that. And it's like, yeah, but you made those, and you made them because you love the pattern.
Yeah.
And
if it, we had a whole episode about mistakes, and that's one of the things that Casapinka talks about in this pattern we just got. It's like, they're called Sharon snacks. They're just, it's just string, she said.
yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, I changed the pattern a little bit in that this is supposed to be like all the blue, all this darker color, and then the other one all the lighter color or whatever. So when you put them together, you have the darker, the lighter, however it says.
I like how you can see you can either see the plus, or I see four three-dimensional cubes.
I love the pattern. I love it.
It's really neat.
So this is a Missouri Star quilt pattern, and you can go on YouTube, and it's Snowball. I don't remember. I'll put it in the description. But it's also in one of her blog magazines. And I'm, of course, making it in a way that, different, because I'm making it into a bag, not a quilt. But, just like with any blocks, how you put them together changes the pattern completely.
Yeah, it's so cool.
And so on the one they have, and I think I've showed it here or on my channel, on the one they have, they're using more of a solid, and so you can really see the plus signs and all that. And on this one, that doesn't come out as much, but you do see it. And I think that's what I really love about, any kind of sewing and any kind of stitching. Like for this, I'm stitching right now into All Good Night, as I mentioned at the beginning. And I'm not stitching it on black. And I'm stitching it with Weeks Dye Works, which I think I showed last week.
Yeah.
So I'm stitching it with Weeks Dye Works. I'm stitching it on it's supposed to be indigo blue. It's not. And I put it in there a long time. Didn't I, Beth? You're like, that's going to get too dark. And I'm like, it needs to be dark. And after I rinsed it the first time, I was like, that's not dark enough. And I put it back in.
Yeah.
But,
it's your own. You make it your own.
Right.
Yeah.
And I love seeing, like, flea market flowers. And, that pattern, a lot of people were doing that pattern. And a lot of them did it the way the pattern said. But there were so many, like, some put it on more of a neutral background instead of the bright white. And it changed the way the colors look on it. And some people changed, certain things about the flowers. And it just, I love seeing the creativity.
Yeah.
It's not just taking a pattern and doing it. It's it's
That's what
making
the
it your
thing
own.
about all stitch-alongs is that you see the different
People's different creative ideas.
Well, and the Priscilla and Chelsea have talked about how a lot of people, all of her designs are designed basically on black fabric, like because they're chalkboard designs originally, and then they're made into patterns. But they're talking about how a lot of people, don't want to stitch on black, or just pick a different color just to match their decor or whatever. So there's some people that stitch it on black, some people that stitch it on chalkboard, some people that stitch it on blue. One of the blue colors that people sometimes use is like a kind of a aquamarine teal bluish thing that's then they dip in coffee, so that it has that. So there's just all kinds of different colors.
What's interesting to me is that there are people out there who are like, I have to do this pattern in exactly this way, or like even knitting patterns. That's what surprises me is that like a designer will come out with a shawl and they say, I use these yarns, and so and people have to go and buy those exact yarns and those exact colors to make that exact thing. I'm like, I never even when I very first started knitting, I never did that, and I'm like, oh, I like that. Okay, what colors do I want that sweater, that shawl, that whatever to
Well,
be?
and I love the stitching with the Housewives. I like the way she finishes stuff. I like her. I love her patterns. I would never ever finish it exactly.
Yeah.
I will take that inspiration.
Right. Exactly. And do it yourself.
But some people, we had the fortune of growing up with parents that encouraged creativity, with a mother that sat us in front of a sewing machine at a very young age, that put a paintbrush in my hand and framed it, painting that I did when I was 3. And those things encourage music lessons, whether we liked it or not. And those things encourage, and then being there, my mother was my biggest fan, but people who are wanting to do cross stitch and are afraid to break out and do something else, or they see something and they want to do it just like that because they love it. I'm not saying that's bad. I'm not saying, you take...
Well, sure.
Because Priscilla puts on here, on her patterns, the SKU numbers and stuff, so you can get stuff to finish it just like that if you want to. And that's fantastic if that's what you want. But I think a lot of times that comes from the fear that if you finish it differently, you may not like how it comes out.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, it's like, that's what somebody, I don't know who I was talking to, it was like, with yarn, you can just do it again. And it's a pain. You don't want to do some big giant thing. Or like people on this mystery, they're like, don't fret about what colors you choose for A, B, C, or D. If you think I'm going to use X, this blue yarn for yarn A, and then you put it next to yarn C and you don't like it, you can change yarn C, you can switch them around, you can, so it's just relax and just go with the flow, and don't be, that's the biggest thing. I think that's one of the biggest things to creativity, the blocking that a block to creativity people have is fear. And that's what I keep trying to tell people. Like, don't be afraid. If it doesn't work, pull it out. Redo it. Also, try again.
Well, I think
also
we're taught that. In teaching art, I've taught art to kids a lot throughout my years. And it's the fear of the white piece of paper.
Yeah.
And
I have a fear of stickers. I cannot. I have really cute decorative stickers that I've bought. With the exception of the one on my water bottle, I can't stick them to things. Because I'm afraid, like, well, what if I don't want it here later? Or what if I, anyway.
Yeah, so with kids, they may scribble and play and color when they're little, but very early on, people hand them a coloring book.
Yeah, we were talking about that last time.
Yeah, and,
My mom yelled at me for buying Hannah a coloring book when she was little. She didn't yell at me, but she's like, just give her blank paper.
Yeah.
That's how our mom was.
Yeah, and you know,
insightful.
I used to have to tell the kids, you know, I'll give you another piece of paper if you make a mistake.
Yeah.
It's okay. And that's what the eraser's for. But I also, when I was teaching the in the day program,
Disabled adults.
they also had this issue, and I said, look, just work with your mistakes. They're in this, I'm not going to show you where they are, but in this turtle, there are things where I'm like, and then you have to remember that a lot of times when you try to rework something, you're not making it better. You're not making it better. You're making it different.
Yeah.
And when that starts happening, stop and just let it go. And because I freehanded this, and this style I almost never freehand because it's a very detail-oriented style. But because I freehanded this, there are certain elements in it that are not just like the picture. And you know what? That's okay.
When you get it, you're not going to have the reference picture.
Right. That's okay. You know, because the turtles are different, and that's all right.
I have to interject. I'm sitting, the reason I've been sitting here with this in my hand is because my life has just been changed. So if any of you knitters out there, you're familiar with the long tail cast on, and the fact that the worst thing about the long tail cast on is deciding how long to make the tail. Because then if you underestimate, you run out of yarn. If you overestimate, you feel like you're wasting yarn because you've got this huge tail left over. And so somebody on the group for this knit along said, if you're freaking out about it, this is my formula. And I used the formula while I was sitting here. And, okay, I didn't bring any stitch markers with me, so I made little stitch markers out of yarn right here. But just to count, because I don't like to count 10 times. I can count to 10 and I put a marker. So I had to cast on 116 stitches, and I used that formula, and look at the tail. It's perfect. This is all I have left. I'll weave it in at the end, but it's not 3 miles and it's not 2 inches, and I'm so excited. I'm sitting here freaking out. I need to write to that lady and say, you've changed my life. And
so I'm sorry, but
sorry. Anyway.
We're enjoying this, but I have a steak that is calling my name.
Yes.
So we're going to have to go.
Yeah, we're going to go. And what was I going to say? There was something else I was going to say. I'm sorry. No, it's okay. It doesn't matter.
Mary, email?
Yes, email us. Oh, and there was something else. What was I going to say? I don't remember.
And look for our video on the 18th.
It'll be coming up this week. And it's really exciting. I'm very excited about this program. This project we're going to do. So be prepared. Happy. If you're doing stitch alongs and knit alongs, have fun. Don't worry. Don't stress.
They're intended to be fun.
Yeah, well, yeah.
This is a hobby. It's not a job.
Yeah. And even if it was a job, you're a human being. And human beings are not
No,
perfect.
because if it's a job, then you're not picking something
so little
like
Jerry says bye.
Bye.
Have a good week. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.